Welcome to another Deep Dive Explainer. Okay, so today we're looking at an absolutely monumental shift in how artificial intelligence is delivered to the world. OpenAI just completely restructured their model release strategy with GPT-5.6. Instead of dropping one massive, one-size-fits-all model on our laps and calling it a day, they've shipped three distinct versions: Sol, Terra, and Luna. And this isn't just some minor update. It fundamentally changes the entire economics of how we build AI applications.
Okay, let's dive into this. Imagine firing up a massive state-of-the-art supercomputer literally just to draft a 3-sentence email saying, I'm running late. It's ridiculous, right? But honestly, until right now, that is exactly what a lot of us were forced to do. High-volume, simple tasks were constantly bottlenecked because we only had these massive, overkill, incredibly expensive flagship models available. We are basically paying for maximum reasoning power just for a basic autocomplete.
Section 1. The GPT-5.6 tier shift. See, OpenAI finally recognized that we don't just need intelligence, we need the right kind of intelligence for the specific job at hand. So they're finally ditching those super confusing version suffixes. I mean, a label like Preview Turbo doesn't exactly tell you what it's good for, right? But actionable tier names like Sol, Terra, and Luna, that is a durable capability system we can actually wrap our heads around. Following a pattern we've seen from Anthropic or Google, the number tells you the generation, but the name maps directly to how much reasoning power you actually need to pay for.
When you lay out the whole ecosystem like this, you get a perfect bird's-eye view of this new three-way system. At a glance, developers know exactly what tool to reach for. You've got Sol for the genuinely hard problems, Terra as your rock-solid default choice, and Luna for those high-volume tasks. And as you'd expect, each step down in reasoning depth comes with a massive, massive increase in speed. It's just an incredibly elegant way to organize an AI stack.
Section 2. Sol and Terra explained.
Now, before we get into the really exciting high-volume stuff with Luna, we've got to understand these heavy lifters first. Up at the very top of the family, we have Sol. This is the absolute flagship tier built specifically for genuinely hard problems that require deep multi-step reasoning. We're talking intense research synthesis or complex agent workflows. And amazingly, it boasts a huge context window of over 1 million tokens. That makes analyzing an entire software codebase highly realistic, not just a theoretical idea. But keep in mind, it is premium access only. You won't find this on the free tier.
But wow, with that immense power comes immense cost. Running Sol costs $5 per million input tokens and a staggering $30 per million output tokens. If you think of AI tools like hardware in a toolbox, Sol is an absolute sledgehammer. If you try to use it for a short email, a basic product description, or high-volume background jobs, you are paying a massive premium for a level of reasoning depth that nobody needs for those tasks.
Which brings us right to the middle tier, Terra. For most folks building real, day-to-day products, Terra is your sensible, go-to choice. It's the true workhorse of the entire GPT-5.6 family. It's designed specifically to cover the vast bulk of professional tasks, but critically without suffering from Sol's extreme cost or its latency.
Whether you're generating content, spinning up a customer support bot, or just doing some code review, Terra is roughly matching the performance of the previous generation's flagship, GPT-5.5. Where it might start to struggle is on extreme edge cases that need real, human-like judgment or intense ambiguity. But for well-defined tasks, it performs exceptionally well.
And here's the kicker. You're getting last generation's flagship performance at exactly half the price of Sol. At $2.50 per million input tokens and $15 for outputs, Terra really is the absolute sweet spot for the majority of your daily operations, and for sure, your budget.
Section 3. Luna, built for volume. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is it brings us to the core focus of today's explainer: massive scale. This is where the structural shift of GPT-5.6 truly shines. $1 per million input tokens, $6 for outputs. The visual contrast with Sol's $30 is just stark. When you are running operations at massive scale, we're talking processing millions of user requests, microtransactions, or background tags every single day. This pricing structure doesn't just save you a little bit of money, it unlocks entirely new high-volume business models that were literally impossible before due to compute costs.
Now, we definitely need to be practically clear about something here. Luna isn't just a weaker Sol. Actually, scratch that. Think of it more like a precision scalpel compared to Sol's heavy sledgehammer. It is purpose-built for high-throughput, latency-sensitive work, routing, classification, short-form content, autocomplete, basically anything where speed and cost matter far more than deep thought. But a quick note of caution. You will noticeably see output quality drop if you push it into complex analysis or anything needing long context retention.
Because it is so insanely fast and cost-effective, Luna is by far the most accessible tier in the entire GPT 5.6 lineup. It's fully open to all API users right now, and it actually powers the default ChatGPT experience for free and Go users. It completely democratizes access to this new generation of AI, ensuring that those basic, high-volume tasks are lightning fast for absolutely everyone.
Section 4. Mixing tiers. In production.
And this brilliantly illustrates how modern systems actually work in the real world. You see, production systems don't just pick one tier. They actively mix them to optimize everything. Imagine a customer support app processing thousands of messages. Step 1, the dirt cheap Luna steps in for high-volume intent detection, instantly figuring out what the user actually wants. Step 2, the sensible Terra takes over to draft a solid standard response. Step 3, if the issue is highly complex, it escalates, and only then does the expensive flagship Soul step in. That's one single application, perfectly optimizing capability and cost across all 3 tiers simultaneously.
Section 5. Making the right choice.
So how do we actually make the right choice for our tech stack? Well, it really comes down to a simple 3-part decision framework: task complexity, request volume, and budget sensitivity. The golden rule? Default to Terra for real everyday work. Move up to Sol only for genuinely hard problems. And drop down to Luna when you are running thousands of simple, structured requests where that cost per call absolutely dictates your bottom line.
Now, of course, OpenAI is not the only player in the game. Right now, independent testing puts GPT 5.6 Sol and Anthropic's Claude Fable 5 roughly neck and neck on general reasoning. Sol does trail by a super narrow margin on some specific intelligence evaluations, but it runs at a fraction of the cost, and it tends to edge ahead on coding-specific benchmarks. Ultimately, both are highly capable models, and the gap is small enough that you simply must test both on your own real specific tasks to see what works best for your data.
So the crucial point is this: GPT 5.6 isn't just one model anymore. It's an entire decision framework. The whole goal isn't just to blindly grab the smartest AI off the shelf, it's to match the tier directly to the job, not the other way around.
Which leaves us with one incredibly important question to ask as we wrap up today's explainer. Take a hard look at your own infrastructure, your own API calls, your own workflows. Are you matching the tier to the job right now? Or are you paying for massive reasoning power that you simply don't need? It is officially time to audit your workloads, because with Luna, Terra, and Sol, you finally have the precise tools to build exactly what you need. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and happy building.